Welcome to the Mindset Coach podcast, brought to you by the Mindset Coach Academy. I'm Lara Young, your host and Master Certified Coach. Whether you're a seasoned coach or just starting your coaching career, this podcast is your go-to resource for all things mindset, coaching, and personal development. Each week, we bring you expert insights, practical strategies, and inspirational stories to help you become the best coach you can be. Our guests range from leading industry professionals to successful mindset coaches who share their secrets for creating lasting change. Plus, I'll be answering your burning questions and sharing tips from our ICF and multi-accredited Mindset Coach certification program. So, if you're ready to elevate your coaching game, stay tuned and let's dive into today's episode. As a coach, you've probably experienced the deep impact that one-to-one coaching can have. But if you're looking to scale your business, reach more people, and create a community of engaged clients, group coaching may just be the perfect next step. More than just a cost-effective way to serve multiple clients, group coaching fosters powerful peer connections, shared learning, and collective growth that's pretty difficult to replicate in those individual sessions. But how do you know if group coaching is the right direction for your practice? What kind of clients and niches are best suited to this format, and how should you structure a group program for maximum impact? In this episode, I'll walk you through the key advantages of group coaching, explore the ideal niches where it thrives, and share insider tips on strategies, meeting frequency, and program length. So no matter what coaching niche you're serving, I'm going to help you to determine how to design and launch a group coaching program that works for both you and your clients. Group coaching is an interesting way to really help and support your clients because it actually offers you the opportunity to coach in situations where there are common themes or common challenges amongst your client group. So it becomes really effective when participants are dealing with similar issues and goals. They want the same outcome or a similar outcome. And it actually allows then for shared experience and insights to occur inside the group environment. It also means that you can harness the power of peer support and learning, because when clients learn from each other's perspectives and provide mutual support, group coaching really does provide that sense of community. And we know that community is one of the 4 key elements that we need in order to develop our resilience. So you're providing that there when you actually create a group program. Another benefit, of course, is cost effectiveness. Now, group coaching tends to be less expensive than one-to-one. You are using the same amount of time to serve more people. And it also means that then you are making it more affordable for those clients that perhaps otherwise wouldn't be able to afford your one-to-one services. The other benefit of group coaching is that through those group dynamics, through the community that you create, you're actually building accountability. Participants in a group often feel motivated to keep up with what the group's doing, with group expectations, and are also inspired and motivated by their peers' progress. So let's look at some examples of where you might offer a group coaching program. And these are typically areas where it thrives, and I'll explain why. So the first niche is business coaching. So entrepreneurs, small business owners, whether it's online, brick and mortar, depending on your niche, they face similar struggles. Struggles such as scaling their business, improving their leadership if they've got a team, or navigating marketing challenges. You can also work with startup groups where people are really wanting to launch their business. And again, this depends at the age and the stage of the business as well, in terms of your niche and in terms of the group program that you're going to offer. So, for example, people who are in a startup phase can really benefit from hearing how other people are tackling similar obstacles to them as they grow their business, they develop their business. You may want to work, for example, in team building. So managers from different companies, you could get them together to participate and learn leadership and collaboration strategies. Group coaching actually in this context creates a mastermind dynamic where participants can brainstorm together, exchange ideas, and provide feedback on each other's challenges. Business owners can also share resources and connections, and it makes it a really valuable networking space. So if you are a business coach and you serve a specific niche, then maybe a group program would be a good idea to create so that you are harnessing that power of the group, the peer support, the networking, but also you're providing coaching, you're providing development around those key areas that everyone in your niche has those foundational skills, that foundational knowledge that they do need in order to succeed. So another niche where it thrives is in fitness coaching, because if you've got programs where you're focusing on things like strength training or marathon preparation or weight loss, these can be really popular in group settings because they are about that inspiration and that support. Where people are focused on similar fitness goals, for example, beginners training for a 5K run, they really benefit from sharing progress and tips. And group dynamics are really important, and they can be so effective in accountability. People tend to stay motivated and push harder when they're supported by others. When we have fitness group coaching groups, it provides motivation, it provides camaraderie and a competitive yet supportive environment. And if you use trackers and maybe you have some mini challenges or sprints in your group, then this is really powerful at keeping participants committed to their goals, especially when they see others succeeding and maybe ticking off things on that tracker, maybe being really accountable, and they spur each other on. Another area is money coaching. So this could be, obviously there's a couple of sides to money coaching. One is the practical and tactical side of money coaching, where you're helping people to save, manage debt, manage wealth creation, budget, and the other side, which is money mindset. So in money coaching, you can have a community of people. You could have a group coaching program around something like investment. Or, we often see things like budgeting groups, money mindset groups, maybe financial literacy workshops for a group of beginners, for a group of people who don't really have that money education. And that can be really effective in a structured community setting. You can also do peer-based financial challenges like save $1,000 in 3 months, because those sort of challenges benefit from the motivation and accountability that the group setting provide. And if you are in money coaching or money mindset, I know that you'll be thinking of lots of different ideas for challenges that you can do and run and share in your communities. And it's all about building that habit, whatever your specific niche is. It's about building those really effective money habits so that they come as second nature to your clients. Now, the thing about money, of course, is that it can be a sensitive topic, but group coaching really focuses on open discussions. It fosters them. It fosters collective problem solving. And it also provides a way for participants to share financial tips, tools, and resources that they've found useful themselves. And we often find in areas like money coaching that people are vulnerable, and they're prepared to be vulnerable in a group setting where other people are opening up about their own challenges in the money arena. The next is relationship coaching. So, for example, couples who are looking to improve their relationship may join group coaching programs with other couples to learn communication strategies and how to resolve conflicts. You may have singles, you may be a coach for singles who are interested in dating and navigating new relationships or improving self-love. They can really benefit from hearing others' experiences in a group coaching format. One thing that you want to do, of course, when you're creating a group program in an area like dating or improving self-love, is you want to make sure that you are targeting your messaging to the ideal client that you want to have attract into the program. And because it's a group program, you want to make sure that they are not going to be bringing a lot of negativity to the group. And it's interesting because through your messaging, through your group rules, you can really control that as well. Sometimes people can engage in a bit of competitiveness in a negative way. You think your relationship history is bad. Wait till you hear about this. And of course, that's not what you necessarily want to foster in that forum. You can also look at parenting groups. They can focus on common parenting challenges like looking at behavior, attachment, or managing family dynamics. Now, relationship group coaching allows for things like role plays, group discussions, and learning from shared experiences. and they can actually see different relationship dynamics playing out. And, how do I want to be in my relationship? So it's interesting, the relationship coaching arena for that. The next is career coaching. So this could be, you could have a group for job seekers or people who are wanting to change their careers or advance in their careers, and they can really benefit from group coaching. They could learn things from you like interview skills or resume building or job search strategies, tips and techniques. What questions were you asked? What's an interview like these days if you haven't been interviewed for a while? And so participants then have a forum to share insights on industries and job openings and networking strategies. And it's really, really valuable for people's professional growth. Now, again, what you can also do with all of these is you can form a group, have a group coaching program with one-to-one coaching as well. So you can coach each individual as part of the group program outside of that forum and make it a hybrid between group coaching and one-to-one. So you could create a VIP experience. So, it's really interesting. No matter what niche you work in, you can kind of think about, well, what are the benefits of having a group together? And so there is a difference, of course, between being in a group and being one-to-one. And so there are some strategies that are going to differ. So in a group coaching experience, you are serving as both a facilitator and an expert. Because you've got a group to manage, you are facilitating oftentimes the discussion. You are encouraging participants to share their own experiences and ideas. You're making sure that everyone has equal opportunity to participate and contribute and to be coached. And peer learning actually becomes a significant part of this coaching dynamic as well. You may find that you're running coaching hot seats in a coaching group program. And so what you're coaching individuals on in those hot seats is relevant to others, and people will be picking up ideas, and having those aha moments from themselves, simply watching you coach someone else. You need to be really conscious in group settings of time management, because you need to balance time between your participants, making sure that everyone's got the opportunity to speak and engage. And that can often mean encouraging people who are a little more reluctant to come forward to actually participate. And it may mean that you want to have structured sharing. You want to allocate a specific amount of time to each participant. You want to have a Q&A session. Maybe you want people to submit their questions to you and you answer them on a live call or through recording, or like I do for the Coaches Success Society in a private podcast. You can also manage your time by having breakout activities. So if there are things that you're focusing on that module that week, in your group coaching program, you can actually use breakout rooms, and that will really help to maximize participation. And again, you want to make sure that those activities are structured so that they have an outcome. There's something specific. There's a reason why people are going into groups. The other thing that's important is really having an awareness of group dynamics and managing the group energy and ensuring that there are positive dynamics in the group. What you want to make sure is that those dominant personalities don't overshadow the quieter ones and that everyone feels heard. So there's a difference between, necessarily allocating everyone the equal amount of time and making sure that people who are a little more quiet actually feel heard, that they, have gained things from the experience, even though they may not be speaking up as much as the louder members of the group or the more dominant personalities. You also need to develop your facilitation skills, because you are managing discussions. And sometimes people can go off topic. Sometimes people can, go into areas that you aren't really focusing on, that aren't necessarily conducive to a positive group environment even. So you need to be able to moderate conversations effectively. So practicing doing this with smaller groups first and moving into wider groups is a great tactic here, and making sure that you are actually able to interject to stop people when needed and redirect the conversation. The other thing is that you want to make sure that you are able to manage the community in which your group operates. So you could use Facebook for this. There's lots of there's school, there's a lot of different types of ways that you can actually have a group and have them interact with one another. A lot of the platforms have communities built in. For example, I use Access Ally, and there's a built-in community in that platform. So it's really important that people have either private social media groups or messaging apps so that they can actually keep the conversation going in between sessions. And it's where you can communicate as well between sessions. So I think that the interesting thing is as well that when we think about our one-to-one coaching strategies, in one-to-one coaching, you're really tailoring every single session to your client's needs, their personality, their current mindset, and the pace of their progress. So it's very much tailored to that specific client in front of you. When you've got a group, of course, what you're doing is you're tailoring it to the group, and maybe even to one or two people in the group, and hoping that then you're capturing everyone. And so making sure in a group situation that you regularly do touch base, that you have some feedback mechanisms whereby people can share with you what they're thinking, how they're feeling, is really important. So then you can be really flexible and flex what you're doing in a group setting as well. Have a question you'd like answered on the show? Or maybe there's a topic you'd love for us to dive deeper into. Reach out to us via social media or email us directly through our website. Your input helps us create content that's relevant and valuable to you. Remember, this podcast is here to support you on your coaching journey. So please do connect with us. We can't wait to hear from you. The other thing is that when you're in a group coaching setting, you're not able to dive as deeply as you can when you're working one-to-one, because when you're working one-to-one, you actually are able to explore your client's challenges, their goals, their mindset in a one-to-one way, and you're very, very aware of that specific person. You know them and you know what they're bringing to the coaching space. Whereas if you've got a group, depending on how big it is, it can be challenging to keep track of everyone. So, if that's something that you want to do, and maybe you're running group goal setting sessions, is just to maybe have a forum where they can share information back with you. You may even have like an online Google form or something like that you can use where people submit what their main goals are or what their main challenges are. And that will give you some information about the group so that you can start to tailor it a little as well. Appreciating, of course, that people do pay more for a one-to-one coaching context, and that's why they do get the personalised attention. But there are some things that you can do in the group scenario to make sure that the people in the group do feel seen and heard as well. And also, this is why it's important that when you are creating a group coaching program, that the outcome is very clear and that everyone, no matter how they've got to where they are, is working for or towards that one outcome. So they're all working towards a common goal. The other thing, of course, is that you can accelerate your program when you're working one-to-one based on how the client's going, how are they progressing. You can also be more flexible. The advice isn't general, it's specific. You can coach in a way that is really related to the individual or client's personal circumstances, and you really are tailoring everything, all of your coaching sessions directly to that individual. Whereas with group, you're actually broadening it out and you're wanting to be conscious of and be aware of all of the people that are involved there in the group program. So how often should you meet as a group in a group program? So most group programs tend to be structured with either weekly or bi-weekly session, and this means that people have a chance to reflect and apply what they've learned between meetings without feeling overwhelmed. And you can also use it daily if you're doing a short-term challenge. So it's going to depend as well on the length of your group program. If you've got a very long group program, then maybe once a week with some other engagement in the group is enough. If you're doing a short program, maybe it's a challenge, then you really want to think about doing daily meetings, because that really does. And also, when I'm talking about those daily sessions, they should be short. They should be 20, 30 minutes, okay? And what you can also do is you can have some pre-recorded material that you add in the morning and then go live to answer questions in the afternoon, for example. And again, with your longer group programs, you can have some content that people can access at their leisure or in relation to the specific topic that you're talking about in your group coaching program. And then, they can focus on that for that specific module or that specific part of your program. The ideal range for group programs, and again, this is a strategic decision for you to make in your business, but typically anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks is ideal, because it's long enough to make measurable progress and it's short enough that people stay engaged. So, for example, a 12-week business coaching program could help entrepreneurs refine their strategies and see tangible results, whether that is strategies for growth, for list building, whether it's strategies for client attraction, whether it's strategies around marketing, for example. That's a pretty neat time frame in which to do that. You can also do shorter programs. You could create a 4 to 6 week program, and those work really well for more focused topics. So, for example, specific financial goals or fitness challenges. And these are ideal for clients who really want fast results on a well-defined issue. So they want a quick start. They want to do something that is going to be short, sharp, and give them what they need in that time frame. And remember, of course, the time frame for your program is also going to depend on the length of time it actually takes for your clients to get that result. So it's no good, for example, doing a 4-week program if you've got clients who are starting from scratch in their business and have, they're starting from zero, because they may not get, depending on how you structure it, they may not necessarily get everything that they need in that time frame. You can also then create longer programs of 3 to 6 months or even ongoing. And so these are more broader long-term goals. And something like, for example, the Coaches Success Society, which is an ongoing program. It is based around monthly modules with a yearly focus, and then we rotate what we're doing in there. We create new content every month. Is really designed to support coaches in developing their business. So we have business masterclasses and a business focus, and also to integrate coaching tools and techniques into their practice. So we have coaching masterclasses and done-for-you resources. We have practice pods. We have implementation sessions and Q&A. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a private podcast where I answer any coaching supervision questions. So, you can have a program that is ongoing for people. And oftentimes that's where people want that continuous growth, continuous learning, continuous support, or where the thing that they're wanting to get, the goal that they're wanting to achieve, will necessarily take a longer time. So say, for example, it might be a significant fitness transformation or career advancement, or even, for dating, meeting and finding that person and then building a solid, loving relationship with them. So it's interesting, and it does depend on your outcome as to the program length, and as I said before, the time it takes for your clients to actually achieve that goal. If you've got questions on this, please do make sure that you contact me. You can drop a comment below. Email me, lara@mindsetcoachacademy.com. I'm more than happy to share my thoughts, or of course, jump in with us into the Mindset Coach Collective group on Facebook. The next thing I want to talk to you about is group size, because if you think about how many people can you energetically serve, how many people can you hold in the container? Now, some people are going to sign up for a group program and they won't come at all. They won't show up. You won't see them. Okay. I don't know why it happens, but that's sometimes the reality. Sometimes people just buying a program, they've got what they needed. They don't even need to take the program. Just the decision to buy it is like, I need to make a change in this area. And for some people, it's enough. And of course, what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to make sure that you have high participation in your program, high engagement levels, and you really want people to come into your program and exit the program having got the result that they desire. So I think in terms of group coaching, where you can actually hold that space, your ideal size is maybe up to about 15, 16, 20 participants. And, you can go beyond that. You can go much larger, of course. It depends on the structure and the niche that you're operating in. So, for example, if you do have a smaller group, say 20 or below, for example, in the Mindset Coach certification program, I only take 16 people each cohort because I really want to give people the time and attention that they deserve and that they need in order to grow and thrive as a coach, not just in terms of their coaching skills, but also in terms of growing their business. And if I don't know everyone, if I don't have the opportunity to understand their goals, what coaching business they're looking to create, then I can't support them in the best way possible. And I certainly wouldn't have the time to give them feedback or, to really nurture and cultivate their coaching skills. That's why I don't do, big intakes of 50 or 100 people at a time, because it doesn't align with my integrity and my value system. And I really want to give everyone the best possible experience. Now, also, I find that if you keep your groups around those sizes, then you are able to foster that intimacy, vulnerability, deeper connections. And people do walk away with what they call friends for life, right? They walk away knowing their fellow cohort members quite well. And so, it is a decision for you around group size of a group coaching program. For example, the Coaches Success Society, we have over 100 members in there. We may cap that depending on how it grows and flourishes. We actually ran a beta of the program for a full year before we soft launched it. And now we're going to start launching it in the very near future so that other people can have access. But we have around 100 people in there at the moment. Now, one of the things to note about running a larger program is the importance of actually having people being able to access the resources. So having a really good learning environment or a resource environment set up. Now, we have an online learning portal where people go and they log into their personalized portal for, downloading the materials, watching the videos, etc. Some people do it by just using the guides in Facebook. So they use the Facebook guides to house all the videos. If you're going to do videos, any documents, any workbooks or worksheets people need, you can actually use that to structure it. So you don't need to spend money on a fancy back-end learning portal. But what you do need to do with larger groups is to make sure that people who sign up have the access, can, access the information easily, that things are easy to navigate and they can use what they need when they need it. The other thing is that when you have larger groups, you will find that there's peaks of and troughs of people participating as well. And maybe you want to do breakout rooms. You may need to actually have a number of different facilitators depending on how big your groups are and how self-directed they are and the types of activities that you want to do with them. You may actually need a couple of facilitators to assist you during those live calls for that. And again, it's going to depend on the structure of your live call. If you've got interactive live calls where people are doing things during the call or asking you questions, then you may want to have more people assisting you. You can also do a call that is live but is not on something like Zoom. So they're not actually in the room with you, but they're just watching you, for example, through a Facebook Live or something like that. And again, these are decisions for you depending on your niche and depending on your ideal client and the outcomes that you're helping those clients to achieve through your group program. The other thing that you want to think about with a group program is engagement. And so you can use things like group messaging platforms like WhatsApp, Slack, or Facebook groups so that people can actually communicate between sessions. And this really helps with a sense of community to keep people engaged. And you can also do things like homework assignments or reflective activities. So people are doing that between sessions and then they're applying what they have, the aha moments, the insights that they've experienced through group coaching. The other thing that you can set up as well with a group program is accountability mechanisms. So you may have peer accountability. So that could be as simple as, for example, asking people to choose an accountability partner when they join the program. It may be that you decide to work in partners or triads or quads, probably no more than 4. And depending on the time zones that you're serving, an ideal idea is to make sure that people are collaborating, they're gaining accountability partners with people who are in the same time zone. It just makes it easier for them to meet if they want to meet outside of the environment, the group environment. You can also make sure that you're using things like tracking and metrics. So, for example, you may have fitness trackers or finance trackers or a business dashboard like we have at the Mindset Coach Certification Program. And this means that people can report their progress or the KPIs regularly. In the Coaches Success Society, we have a monthly roundup where everyone, compiles a review of how they've done that month. And that's really, really useful for helping business growth, helping people to stay on track. The other thing that's really useful here is if you use something like the Mindset Dimensions report, where you're actually measuring the 7 key dimensions of your client's mindset through an online questionnaire, a diagnostic. You can do a remeasure after 6 months, 12 months, and that's brilliant, tangible evidence of how far your clients have come. It's also very useful if you're running a group coaching program where maybe you want to do some work around values, because it identifies your clients' values, their top values across 8 areas of their lives, and that can be a really brilliant starting point for a group discussion. So the other thing that is important too is endings. What happens when a program ends? What can you do to support those clients? And it may be that you offer post-program check-ins or follow-up group sessions to help participants stay on track. Or like with the Coaches Success Society, you may also go on to a membership or a subscription model so that it is about that continuous lifelong learning and development. So there may not be an exit, or you may have a sprint to start with where they get all the information and then the community carries on. So that's a high-level overview of group programs and how they can work across different niches. I'd love to know what ideas it sparked for you, because group coaching really does offer a unique opportunity for learning, for growth, for accountability, particularly in niches where shared experiences enhance the coaching process. Now, that's really important. When you're thinking about a group program, will this actually enhance the group process, the coaching process? Will it enhance it? Will it enhance the results? Okay. So you really want to think about that before you're actually offering a group program. And you also want to make sure that you are weighing up the difference between providing that one-to-one, that more deep personalized attention, with offering a group coaching program, which is more about peer support and community building and that collective wisdom. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you can have one or the other, or you can have a hybrid of both. So you can have a VIP element, or you can have a one-to-one coaching element as part of your program. In next week's episode, I'm going to take you through some specific tools that you can use in group coaching, how to use them, and how to use them one-to-one and in group coaching, so that you can see the flexibility of some of the powerful coaching models that we use and how they can be applied in different situations. So I look forward to seeing you, hearing you, being with you in next week's episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, I'd love you to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone else who you know will benefit too. Bye for now. That wraps up today's episode of the Mindset Coach podcast. I hope you found it as inspiring and informative as I did. If you enjoyed today's show, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow coaches. Your support helps us reach more people and continue to bring top-notch content every week. Remember, you can always learn more about our ICF and multi-accredited Mindset Coach Certification Program, our coaching membership, and other training opportunities by visiting mindsetcoachacademy.com. Thank you for tuning in, and keep striving to become the best coach you can be. Until next time, this is Lara Young signing off. Stay motivated and keep transforming lives.